Good morning. Can you hear me? Oh, no? Okay. Dr. Esters, someone please. Regent Jeter Davis, I'll ask for your assistance. I can't see it. No?
I don't know what's going on right now. Are they not?
Just bear with us one moment, please. Thank you.
Welcome. Do you have that one?
Thank you. Thank you for the assistance. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Karen Bearden. I'm Chair of the Board of Regents here at Kentucky State University, and it's my honor to bring you greetings on behalf of President Mary Evans Sias and the members of the Board of Regents of this institution. We know that many things take place during an academic year. We're all engaged in our various activities, in our disciplines, if we're on the faculty, and staff and students. But the best time of year is absolutely graduation. This is the time when we all reflect upon the year that has taken place and we recommit ourselves to our purpose, which is to educate people so that they can go out into the world and serve. So it's certainly an honor to greet you on this occasion and to celebrate your upcoming graduation. I'll be back with you later in the program. And with that, I would ask that we have our musical selections continue. Thank you. We will begin having our meal now, and I will ask the ambassador and her husband to please guard us in our line, and we'll just go in an orderly fashion. Thank you, Madam Ambassador. And Walker, please. I'll be with you today, so please support them. And you know, thank you. Ask Ms. Brianna Smith if she would come forward and introduce our guest speaker. Brianna?
Thank you, Dr. Reardon. You're welcome. Good afternoon, graduates and family, and faculty and staff. I am Brianna Smith, the incoming 2014-2015 Student Government Association President-elect. And today I have the divine honor of introducing our speaker for the afternoon, Ambassador Pamela E. Bridgewater. Ambassador Bridgewater has served the United States of America with distinction as a career diplomat beginning in 1980 when she joined the U.S. Foreign Service. Recently retired, Ambassador Bridgewater has served in various diplomatic posts, including overseas tours in the Bahamas, Belgium, and Jamaica, as Consul General in Pretoria and Durban, South Africa, during the transition of South Africa from apartheid, U.S. Special Coordinator of Peace in Liberia, the U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, U.S. Ambassador to Benin, appointed by President Clinton, U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, appointed by President George W. Bush, U.S. Ambassador to Jamaica, appointed by President Barack Obama. During Ambassador Bridgewater's extraordinary career, she cultivated strong relationships with the heads of state and countries that she served in, including the former South African President, Mr. Nelson Mandela. Ambassador Bridgewater was honored by the Kunada Voluntary Organization in Accra, Ghana, with a project named for her because of her support of education and activism in Ghana and the continent of Africa. The Bridgewater Project works to support girls and women with health care and economic concerns. Over her 33-year career, Ambassador Bridgewater received several awards for her commitment to the foreign policy goals of the United States, including the U.S. Presidential Meritorious Award, the Charles Cobb Award for Trade Promotion, and the U.S. Secretary of State's Career Service Award. In addition to her diplomatic career, Ambassador Bridgewater has demonstrated her commitment to the success of HBCUs and their students by serving as the university president for 3 historically black colleges and universities: Bowie State University, Morgan State University, and Voorhees College. Ambassador Bridgewater herself is a graduate of an HBCU of Virginia State University, where she also served as Miss Virginia State University. She resides in Louisville, Kentucky, and is married to Reverend A. Russell Awkward of New Zion Baptist Church of Louisville, Kentucky. She is dynamic and multifaceted. She also enjoys music of the jazz and Caribbean sort. She loves new technology and gadgets. She collects fine arts, and she has traveled over 70 countries. May I present to you all today the Honorable Ms. Pamela E. Bridgewater, distinguished diplomat and educator.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I have to thank the President-elect, Ms. Brianna Smith, for elevating me to having served as a university president 3 times. I was a faculty member at 3 universities, but sometimes I felt like I was a president because I had so much to do. So thank you for that. Madam Chair of the Board of Regents and other members of the board, deans, faculty, most importantly, the members of the graduating class, the current president of the Student Government Association, parents and grandparents, if any are here today, our wonderful musicians, the lovely soloists that we've heard thus far. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here to mark this very special occasion. I extend first and foremost my warm congratulations to all of those who are receiving degrees today or Saturday from the Kentucky State University. May I see the hands of the graduates who are here today? Wonderful. Congratulations. You have successfully demonstrated that you have met all the requirements for a degree from this very fine university because you've met certain academic standards of performance. Now, many of you may be waiting for a raw, rousing speech to inspire you just a little bit more. Others may be already pumped up, and you certainly should be. Lofty speeches are wonderful, but how long do they last in your memories after this day? For the next few moments, I just want to share some thoughts as you embark on new journeys, away from the protected halls of academia and the watchful eyes of your professors, your family, and your friends. And I'd also like to pass on some practical thoughts and challenges that I hope you will consider, and some attributes that I think may be very important for you to embody. So I will ask that you reflect on this question. What will I do when I leave here? What will I do when the celebration is concluded and the cheers have subsided? As part of the cohort of 2014 graduates, I believe that there are a few qualities that will help ensure your success, not just as graduates of Kentucky State, but as citizens of your various states, the United States of America, and the world. But I imagine that some of you today might be just thinking, how am I going to repay the loan I've taken to study here? Anybody in that category? Or you might be concerned that you haven't landed the job that you really think you deserved, or the salary that you hoped you would get, or maybe that you haven't gotten that good job. But let me say one thing. Even if you have a job now and it's not on your A list, quite as prestigious as you thought it should be, don't worry, because we all have to start somewhere. I know I did. I did not begin as a U.S. ambassador. I had been a professor of political science at 3 universities, but I started at the bottom of the ladder in the Foreign Service because it was an opportunity that I decided I wanted to take a chance on. And what has happened since for me, I have risen to the rank of career minister, which in the military is the equivalent of a 3-star general. Not bad for a girl from Virginia State University, segregated community, HBCU, who worked her way up the ladder. And you all can do that too. Now, talking about prestigious universities, as I was researching for these remarks, I read in Psychology Today that a professor, Denise Cummings, notes that in a survey of managers and graduating students, 50% of the students thought that a degree from a prestigious institution was the most important thing in guaranteeing success. But only 28% of hiring managers considered it so. So, graduates, it's not where you go, but what you know. Now, some of you may be headed to graduate school. All good. And some of you just might have landed that job at the salary that you think you earned. Well, give yourselves a hand if you've done that. Okay, not much applause yet, but it's going to come, I promise. Keep in mind, though, that even though it is not the job you might thought you should have gotten because of all your hard work, the good news is you live in the United States of America, which despite our foibles and our problems, ladies and gentlemen, it's still the greatest country in the world. Hello? Anybody packing up to go anywhere? I don't think so. Okay. Each of you is at a point now which propels you to the thresholds of new beginnings, not only in your lives, but in the lives of all whom you will come in contact with and whom you may influence in some way. Remember, somebody's watching you all the time, a young person, a prospective employer, a passerby, and of course, social media is there all the time. You think about Big Brother, but think about Big Instagram and Big Twitter and all of that. They are there to capture you when you don't even expect it. And I'll give you a great example of that. When I was in Jamaica most recently, I went out to the special track for Usain Bolt. Y'all know who Usain Bolt is? The fastest man in the world. So I wanted to visit him and pay my respects to him for his great talent. So we chatted and all. It was a great visit. And at the Olympics last year, the 2012 Olympics, someone sent me a link and said, I've seen you on YouTube with Usain Bolt. I thought, you saw me on YouTube? The BBC was there recording him, and there I was, unbeknown to me. But it was a wonderful, innocuous kind of thing. So just remember, you never know who's watching. Your university's motto, inspiring innovation, growing leaders, and advancing Kentucky, is very appropriate and gives you much to build on for success. Over the years here that you have matriculated, technological innovations have blasted even further. For good or ill, you must be IT savvy, but more than being computer literate, you have to understand the uses and vulnerabilities of information technology and have a good fix on the implications of the global information revolution. Technology and innovation have shrunk our world. That is true, and we are a global village. Dr. King, in his Christmas sermon on peace, captured our interconnectedness many years ago when he declared, "We are all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied into a single garment of destiny. What affects one directly affects all indirectly." You will have undoubtedly already embarked on some of these crowded highways and oceans in this shrinking world. How will you fit in? The technological ingenuity of man has dwarfed at distance. Planes and computers have revolutionized how we communicate and engage with each other. Robotics has charted new courses for medical care and treatment and manufacturing. You graduates must also be science savvy. You must know how to address science-based global issues, such as infectious diseases and environmental disasters that are confronting us every day. We are in a world of new interdependencies and paradigms. And unless you understand this world, you will not be relevant to it, despite your pedigree. Can we get a live mic again, please? Can you hear me? Yes. We must embrace, understand, and utilize technological advances and the various social media mechanisms to keep pace with this world and the new trends. But we cannot allow those advances to alter the core and the fiber of our traditional values and positive personal standards. And I can't stress that enough, young people, ladies and gentlemen. In his book, What Manner of Man, Lerone Bennett Jr. wrote, "The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. But education which stops with efficiency may prove the greatest menace to society. The most dangerous criminal could be the man gifted with reason, but with no morals. Education without intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character. This is the true goal of education," Bennett concludes. Remember to use social media to enhance and benefit your lives and not be a liability. What you post is available to view 24/7. There's no privacy anywhere to be relied on. So if you've posted some not so positive images or actions you've engaged in over these few years, you might want to think about removing them before a prospective employer sees them. You might also want to think about cleaning up your screen names if they reflect negatively on habits employers may frown upon. So you, latenightloner.com screen name might be permanently in the delete box. Think about it. As you prepare to leave KSU, I first encourage you and urge you to become analytic thinkers and become problem solvers, not problem makers. Be community advocates, and that includes your local, your national, and your world community. And thirdly, I urge you to be outstanding leaders in your world. As an analytic thinker, don't accept what you see and hear at face value. Examine it. Pull back the layers of the onion to see what's really underneath. Learn to assess underlying messages and unspoken words. Ask questions, probe, and seek the real truth and the implications. This is especially true in the political arena, but it's also true in the corporate and business world. Don't be paranoid, but be proactive in your assessments and help to educate others along the way. Community advocates are needed everywhere, not only to advance Kentucky, but our world. Now, I can't allow this opportunity to pass without a bit about the Foreign Service recruitment. How many of you are familiar with the Charles Rangel and the Thomas Pickering Fellowships? Thank you, the provost is. Any student in here familiar with that? I just told you, that's not fair. Nobody else in here. Well, okay. When I was in school, but that's been a long time ago, I didn't really know about careers in diplomacy either. But I want you to consider the possibilities about that. Anybody ever thought about a career in the Foreign Service? You thought about it. Well, that's good. Or work for the State Department or an international organization? All right. You know about State Department internships? Have you applied? Okay, we'll talk after this. Well, the world is indeed shrinking, as I said. And our neighbors don't always look like we look, or expect them to look, or speak with accents we're used to hearing. Sitting in this audience today could be the next United States ambassador, the first United States ambassador from Kentucky State. Don't you think that's a possibility? Yes. I do. So, thank you. So I want you to think about what you could contribute to the field of foreign affairs and American diplomacy. The Rangel and Pickering Fellowships will pay for your graduate study completely as one means of helping you prepare for these careers. It will ensure that you get an internship at an embassy or a consulate around the world. And I've had wonderful interns who are now Foreign Service officers serving around the world. It will also help you prepare for and pass the Foreign Service exam. Our Foreign Service, ladies and gentlemen, graduates, needs to have citizens that represent all sectors of our society around the world, and I've been able to appreciate that so much in the 34 years that I've represented my country as a U.S. diplomat. When I was preparing to graduate from Virginia State, I had scant knowledge of the world of diplomacy, let alone did I contemplate or ever imagine that I would have a successful career as a U.S. diplomat, rising to the rank that I mentioned to you. Little did I know when I left Virginia State with an undergraduate degree in political science that I would meet but become a personal friend of the Honorable Nelson Mandela, who on the last day of my 6 years of assignment in South Africa hosted me in his home in Johannesburg for a one-on-one dinner. Ms. Smith asked me what was my most exciting assignment in all the years, and I told her the South African experience, which was extraordinarily challenging, but the most meaningful, to see a country unfold before your eyes and move towards a democratic transition. Little did I know that I would become a deputy to General Colin Powell, work with Secretary Condoleezza Rice, General Powell, as I named, Secretary Clinton, and many others. And certainly I never dreamed that I would meet the head of the Zulu nation, King Goodwill, Zwelithini Goodwill, who is a direct descendant of Shaka Zulu. And that he would become a friend, and we would work together to advance the Zulu nation and the people of South Africa. Or as an ambassador to Ghana, subsequently, to know and work with the Asante Hene, head of the Kingdom of Ashanti, and ascendant to the Golden Stool. But both these traditional leaders, as well as government officials, feted me on my departure and the conclusion of my tours there. And one of you graduates might just be that next ambassador, or the person to have the negotiating skills to find a solution in Syria, or the Ukraine, or the Sudan. But you gotta know about this world. Again, in the research I was doing, I found that so many college graduates don't know that Baghdad is the capital of Iraq and not Afghanistan, or that Nairobi is the capital of Kenya and not Africa, which is a continent. We gotta know the world we're living in. Closer to home, being community advocates means, among other things, that your skills can help find lasting answers to the challenges of many disaffected young people. One of you might have a plan to restore sanity to our ravaged inner cities, communities where our young men and girls are killing each other with impunity. developing a prototype program for mentoring to restore pride and eliminate self-destructive behavior in the streets of the 8 states of the cities that you represent here. Maybe you're just a person to write that Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, or win the Nobel Prize for scientific research, or make medical advances that save lives. Be an advocate for STEM in local schools that your children will attend and will have the opportunities to meet the cutting edge of 21st century scientific activities. Thirdly and lastly, I encourage you to be outstanding leaders wherever you find yourself. As part of your university's motto is grow leaders, each of you has an obligation to fulfill that. Even if you're texting right now, text down there, remind myself to be a good leader when I leave Kentucky State University. Got it? Okay. When I completed a professional year of training as a diplomat, we were asked to write about our personal reflections of leadership. So may I share with you some of what I wrote then, but what I deem even more important today. Having served in leadership positions where life and death responsibilities fell on my shoulders. An outstanding leader is creative and must have vision and a basic construct of vision as well as compassion and caring. Leaders know where they want to go and how to motivate others. Leaders must be positive role models and mentors who nourish and challenge. I have already mentioned the ability to think analytically and its importance. An effective leader fosters opportunities for skill building and confidence enhancing by allowing time for personal and professional development. And never forget to take time for yourselves, for your health, to continue to grow and to eat healthily and to exercise. As you move up the ladder, you will also be able to give others a chance to build confidence and prepare them for leadership roles. That is the true sign of a good leader. Good communication is vital for outstanding leaders, and communication means not simply talking down, but actively listening to others. Without accurate two-way communication, misunderstandings and distrust and ill will can surface. We have seen this in too many occasions. There are many leaders, for example, the hero exemplar, the persuader and the energizer, the owner, the dominator, to just name a few. You will find your leadership style. As you embark on unknown territory, regardless of where your paths take you as you leave Kentucky State, I ask that you not neglect 3 perennial values and qualities which I deem essential to success. They are compassion, community, and civility. The truest barometer of your individual success will be found not necessarily in how high a salary you command or negotiate, or the title which you attain, although these will be important in much of what you can accomplish. But a better criterion might be found in the efforts you devote to finding solutions to the plight of the vulnerable, the poor. A second barometer of your success will be in how well you build community. We build and destroy community by every action we take or don't take. There needs to be a sense of belonging to a whole, or alienation can set in. Give something back. A third attribute of success is civility. The character of your public discourse and how you make decisions. How do you engage everyday people in your daily life? People whom you might ultimately serve if they elect you to public office. They must always believe that you have their best interests at heart. The work that you do, graduates, must not make you economically better while others become socially bitter. In reflecting on leadership, I read a quote from someone, and it's attributed to someone named Holland, and I want to share that with you. A time like this demands strong minds, great hearts, true faith, and ready hands. Leaders whom the lust of office does not kill. Leaders whom the spoils of life cannot buy. Leaders who possess opinions and a will. Leaders who have honor. Leaders who will not lie. Leaders who will stand before demagogue and damn his treacherous flatteries without winking. tall leaders, sun-crowned, who live above the fog in public duty and private thinking. So, Kentucky State innovators, community advocates, and leaders, as you head out of these doors on Saturday, keep in mind that you nor I are as smart as we think we are. Our knowledge grows every day, and we learn something, positive or negative, from each experience and individual we encounter. I encourage you to plan now to begin your retirement. That might sound a little strange, doesn't it? But start saving and investing now, no matter how small. Don't blow your first new salary check on the most expensive car, or this or that. Get your priorities in order and keep them there, while enjoying life along the way. Finally, there's a book that you're all familiar with which says, "For unto whom much is given, much is required." There's also a very famous Kentuckian who states as part of his philosophy, and I quote, "Service is the price you pay for your time on earth." You know who said that? Speak up. Muhammad Ali said it. All right. I ask each of you today, as you prepare to leave here and get your diplomas and embark on these new and exciting pathways, to ask yourselves, do I want to make a difference or simply just be? Do I want to be an observer or simply an actor? Do I want to passively accept what is around me or actively impact my environment for positive change? The late tennis star Arthur Ashe once said, "Regardless of how you feel inside, always try to look like a winner. Even if you are behind, a sustained look of control and confidence can give you a mental edge that results in victory." Your dreams must be your only boundaries. Your intellect and your training must now equip you to take hold of the reins of government, educational institutions, scientific pursuits, religious institutions, community service, retail, legal, and business in corporate America, art and music and literary pursuits, and take over those reins. You must. Graduates, dare to be different. Dare to make a difference. As you take leave of this luncheon today, I want you to make this pledge and repeat after me. I can make a difference.
I can make a difference.
I must make a difference.
I must make a difference.
I will make a difference.
I will make a difference.
Thank you and Godspeed.
us, Lord. Just take my hand and lead me on. Let me stand. I am tired. I am weak. I am worn through the storm, through the night. Lead me on to that light. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead your child on home.
We'll see if the microphone, I said, we'll see if the microphone is working. First, let me say thanks to all of you for joining us this afternoon for this very, very special celebration. And on behalf of the entire Kentucky State University family, I want to thank the ambassador for her informative and inspiring remarks this afternoon. It's an honor and a privilege to have you on our campus, and we thank you.
Thank you so much.
I would also like to make this presentation to you, again, on behalf of the entire Kentucky State University. We ask that you accept this token of our appreciation and affection for you and your family. Thank you, Reverend Arthur, for joining us as well. I have one more announcement to make, or have an announcement to make. We will have a meet and greet with Ambassador Bridgewater downstairs in room 312 immediately following the program. I would also like to announce that the president has special gifts available for the seniors, and I would ask each senior to please see Ms. Darlene Jackson. Ms. Jackson is in the back on your way out of the room to receive your special gift from President Sias. I thank you all. I can move that over.